progress is important. And so I want to share with you some of the progress that we've had over the past several years. The system continues to make incremental progress in reading and in math. This slide denotes grades 3 through 8. And while we understand that we have made progress in more grades, and this is only through 07 to last year. And the reason we are doing that is because we wanted to show a 4-year term. Why 07? It's because of the board who is here. This was the information, or this was the progress that we've made since this board has entered office. However, a progress builds on progress that goes back to 2004. Once again, this is the progress in math that we've made over the same period of time. The system is experiencing great gains in elementary school, as you can see by this slide, by both of these slides. However, we understand that there is a lack of sustainable progress at the middle school level. And as a matter of fact, although you see gains in reading achievement and math achievement at the middle school level, those gains are still not sufficient enough to allow us to progress as a system. That lack of sustainability, particularly at the middle school levels, has caused us to really focus on that work as an executive cabinet and as a strategy inside of our school-based and system-wide initiatives. And as you can see here, our 2010 success on the MSA indicates that 78.7% of our elementary students were proficient in reading, almost 78% in math, and 73.1% of our middle school students were proficient in reading. We also want to acknowledge the gains that we've made with our English language learners, and we think that that's extremely important. And as this slide denotes, you've seen gains, or we've seen gains, in both students' ability to be ready for kindergarten, so our early childhood efforts are really starting to pay dividends, the students who are in elementary mathematics, and those students who are beginning to meet the AMAO as language proficiency. AP8 was implemented, and AP8 was really a goal designed to expose more students to more rigorous coursework. And inside of our work with advanced placement, what we found is that over the past 4 years, there has been a significant improvement in student access to more rigorous courses. As I indicate, everywhere I go, I think it's a crime for some of our schools to offer over 30 AP courses and other schools not have one. And I think that presents an access issue. So as a result of this initiative, where we've put 8 AP courses in every high school, what we're finding is increase in the number of students taking AP by 27%. But not only are we seeing an increase, we're also seeing an increase in students scoring a 3 or higher, which is the scores that you score in order to gain college credit. So we're really excited about that. Some of our school system's recent academic improvements can be attributed to modest improvements in student engagement as well. And this slide actually denotes some of the student engagement. Elementary and middle school attendance has consistently met the state's attendance standard, and slight improvement has been made at the high school level. Meanwhile, the overall number of students suspended has declined since 06-07, and the overall dropout rate remains below the state standard. The system's career and technical education programs continue to produce workforce students with the program completion and the technical skill attainment rates exceeding the state's 5-year targets. So where do we want to be? And a part of this is an ability or a chance for me to bring in individuals from other places around the country to talk about that. But I think first and foremost, we need to talk about this notion of a 21st century graduate, particularly from our school system. And in Prince George's County, we have a concept of a college-ready student, not only one that includes a student who meets the university system's criteria in Maryland, but also a student who has taken a rigorous high school academic course of study. Rigor means that that exposure should be an international baccalaureate in advanced placement or successfully completing a career and technical assessment at the end of that program. We also believe that a student, a graduate, should not be required to take remedial courses when they enroll in institutions of higher education. And a graduate who is on pace to graduate from college within 5 years of entry at the college. College and career ready also includes the following personal attributes. We want students to be effective communicators and collaborators. We want individuals to be successful problem solvers. And we want individuals who are responsible and engage both as a domestic and global citizen. And when we think about this profile of a graduate, we are looking for the skills and the knowledge that our students have upon graduation. So the knowledge areas, as you can see on here, are inside of content areas. But as you also see, it also includes world languages and more advanced math and lab sciences at earlier grades for us. So I'm going to talk just briefly about a couple of young people. And I'm going to walk away from the mic because we want to use the power of technology to bring those young people to us this evening. The first individual, and I'm going to describe these individuals to you, and then I'm going to bring them up via Skype. The first individual is Brianna Campbell. And Brianna is a senior at Suitland High School, and she is in the Visual and Performing Arts program. She is a music major with a 3.89 GPA. Some interesting things about Brianna. She was accepted to both programs when she was in middle school, both the Thomas Pullen program and a music program when she went on into high school, the Suitland program for performing arts. And she was the youngest person ever accepted to the New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts summer program. But she decided to return to music because she missed it so much. Brianna's an interesting senior, young person, because she is a member of the marching band, and her mom says that there aren't enough hours in a day for all of the things that she intends to do. She is a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and she led it in soccer at Suitland High School, and she played this season until she injured her knee. In the 10th grade, she played JV football at Suitland. She was the only girl in the school and the county to play football that year. She was a cornerback and wide receiver. She was also on the wrestling team and threw shot put for the track team. So you can see that Brianna is quite the young person. She hopes to attend the University of Richmond next year in London, where she's already been accepted with a full scholarship to attend in London. And she plans to major in psychology. So without further ado, everyone, welcome Brianna. Hi, Brianna.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Fantastic. We're all good. Thank you. And I just read your bio, and we're really excited about you and really excited about your opportunities to head from school off to the University of Richmond in the UK. So with that, can you talk a little bit about how your experience here in Prince George's County has prepared you for what will be an exciting opportunity?
I'm sorry, I was speaking up. What did you say?
Okay. So can you talk to us a little bit about how your experience in Prince George's County Public Schools has prepared you to move on to your opportunities beyond high school?
Well, I found throughout PG County, going through the public schools, I felt very nurtured and I felt like they paid attention to my needs and what I needed. and it helped me to get a better understanding of how I should be towards others, which actually helped me to get into Richmond with my personality and everything of that nature. So it really helped me out.
Fantastic. And Brianna, thank you for joining us this evening. I know that you had a long day of school, and you probably had practice today, did you?
No, because of my knee. I have a bone contusion from soccer.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry. Best of luck to you. And try to heal soon and safely. And we wish you the best of luck. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Okay, thank you.
The next individual is an individual that I met before. And I met this young man when I was with the governor at I just forgot where I met him. We were at Oxon Hill High School in the science and tech program there. And the governor was with us. And we were looking at a microbiology class, and the students were engaged in a lab. And in that lab, there was a young man, and the young man had a tie on. And I thought to myself, well, that's odd. I didn't think that Oxon Hill's dress code had all of the students dressed up in a tie, so I actually acknowledged him because I thought he dressed up for the governor. But he didn't. He's a college student. He's a third-year college student, and I want to just share some information about him as well. He was among the leaders of his highly competitive special program, as evidenced by his consistent A work in all of the high school classes. He was also the salutatorian for the class of 2008. His course load included AP Calculus, AP Physics, AP French 5 and 6, and many other honors classes that geared him towards a future career in engineering. In the fall of his graduation, this young man, his name is Kevin Smith, Kevin began his college career at Stanford University with hopes of majoring in computer science. It could be seen that the science and technical program prepared him well, having a 3.4 GPA after the first year at Stanford. Now, a rising junior, he has changed career paths and plans to enter a career in medicine, majoring in biology. This past summer, he completed research in a behavioral sciences lab at Stanford, comparing activation in resting state network within the brain in dyslexic readers versus non-dyslexic readers, and also volunteered at Santa Clara Valley Medical Center, the county hospital in San Jose, California. So with that, I would like to welcome to all of you, Kevin Smith. Hi, Kevin. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly fine, yes.
Fantastic. And I know, Kevin, thank you for coming on with us today. And you have a tie on again.
I do have a tie on again.
Oh, that's all right. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. And we just talked to a student that's a senior this year. And now we wanted to reach out to you. And we're talking about a profile of a graduate, Kevin, and making sure we're preparing all students to enter the next opportunity when they leave our high schools. So I want to ask you a different question, though. I want to ask you, if you would think about this, what did we miss in preparing you for opportunities after your time here in Prince George's County?
Okay. When I think about the Oxon Hill High School Science and Technology program, it offers a wide variety of courses for students to find their academic passions. And it also offers a lot of advanced courses like AP classes for students to excel in those classes. But I think there's a slight disconnect in offering those classes and offering the AP classes in the wide variety and having the necessary guidance and people to motivate students to take those classes. And like to have teachers and guidance counselors help students, figure out and plan in their high school career. Just like if you're going to college, you have to come out and plan your major, make a 4-year plan, and these are the classes I'm going to take because I'm interested in these subjects. So having, guidance counselors and teachers that come into class every day optimistic and they have an objective mindset in a way, kind of, sort of. So, and the Oxon Hill High School has about 2,500 students, and making a student feel like someone has taken an interest in their education in their future is very important, I feel like. And with all of the negatives that may happen in a public high school, it's hard for a student to feel like someone has taken an interest in them and will help them like plan their future. So I think that having more teachers like that and having more guidance counselors that basically come in every day optimistic, giving their 100%, even 110%, to make sure that their students feel like they are important would have been more helpful, I would say.
Fantastic, Kevin. Well said, and thank you for those comments. Best of luck to you, and when you finish, we want you to return to Prince George's County.
Always do.
All right, fantastic. Thank you.
All right.
The next individual is Lavita Simpson, and Lavita is a 2002 graduate of Forestville High School, and Lavita is an established professional. As a matter of fact, she's amassed an astounding list of accomplishments in her career. Most notably, as the events coordinator to senior member of Congress, Eleanor Holmes Norton, Lavita served as a congressional representative on both the National and District of Columbia 2009 Inaugural Steering Committee. She has also spent time with the team that was marked with philanthropic, conference, and special event planning. Her time spent with the team was marked with tremendous accomplishments. Lavita went on to work with significant sports foundations and organizations. Most notably, she has managed details of the Carmelo Anthony annual 3-on-3 basketball tournament, Ray Lewis Celebrity Summer Weekend, the 2007 BET Awards opening billiards tournament, the 2007 and 2008 Shaquille O'Neal and Alonzo Mourning NBA All-Star Week kickoff events, and the NBA Wives All-Star Weekend fashion show. In addition to Lavita's impressive events resume, she has led the communications department for an established District of Columbia-based nonprofit and managed the marketing and communications department for the unique web-based business. She is a graduate of Morgan State, where she graduated magna cum laude with 3.78 GPA with a BS in Communication Studies and Public Relations. She's also served as Miss Morgan State from 2005 to 2006 and Miss Junior Morgan State University 2004-2005. Lavita, welcome.
Hello, hello.
It is great to see you this evening. Thank you for being here. I've read your impressive list of credentials. And so we have everyone here today, and we're talking about a profile of a graduate and what we need to do to really prepare all of the students in Prince George's County for opportunities beyond high school. So I want you to talk to us just a little bit about how we prepared you for your transition from high school to higher education.
Well, I will share that I was blessed to be a graduate of Forestville High School in Forestville, Maryland. Go Mighty Knights. My transition from high school to college was amazing. I got a ton of support from the Maryland Higher Education Commission. Specifically, I received a guaranteed access grant in the amount of $8,000. And that's for every student that graduates from a high school in Maryland. I also received funding from the federal government, Pell Grant, SEOG grants, and scholarships from not only the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation through our then Congressman Albert Wynn, but also received a Rising Star Scholarship from Forestville High School. So my transition was amazing, and I was really blessed to be supported by so many people in the county and in Prince George's County Public School System. Before my time is up, I'll be remiss to say, since we're discussing transition, I also transitioned from college into the entrepreneurial world with great ease and support also from Prince George's County, where I'm an MBE certified business. So thank you for letting me share my high school success story, college success story, and now entrepreneurial success story.
Well, Lavita, thank you so much. It's quite impressive. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
And the final student this evening that we wanted to profile is Javon Hill. And Javon Hill is a fifth-year student studying to complete her MBA, major with an accounting concentration. And she graduated from Hampton University in May 2010, magna cum laude, with departmental honors in the field of business administration. During her undergraduate career at Hampton University, Javon was the treasurer of students in free enterprise, secretary of the Society of Business Professionals, and vice president of the Speakers Roundtable component of the MBA Leadership Application Program. In addition, she was a member of the National Association of Black Accountants, Golden Key International Honor Society, Alpha Kappa Mu Honor Society, and community service chair of the Sigma Beta Delta Business Honor Society. She's interned with PricewaterhouseCoopers Limited Partners for 2 consecutive summers and recently accepted an offer with the firm in their internal audit practice. So we're going to welcome Javon Hill in just a minute. And while we are connecting with Javon, there are other individuals who are here as well. I saw come in. Thank you. First and foremost, we have our new county executive-elect, Mr. Rashawn Baker. Thank you so much for being here. And I think that the board chair introduced Delegate Healy. Yes, Delegate Healy is here. Thank you for being here, District 22. And Senator Doug Peters is here with us as well. Senator Peters, thank you for coming. And we have a county council person, Ms. Ingrid Turner. Ms. Turner, thank you for coming. We just switched. Fantastic. Hi, Javon.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And we thought we were going to have some technical difficulties there, but it all worked out. Everyone, could you welcome Javon Hill with us this evening? Javon, I wanted to ask you, and you're the fourth of 4 students that we've spoken to tonight, and we're talking about a graduate profile for students from Prince George's County. And I wanted to talk to you and just ask you one question as well. How well did we prepare you for the opportunities beyond high school?
Prince George's County Public Schools and Frederick Douglass High School definitely prepared me for my undergraduate career at Hampton University. It allowed me not to place limitations on what I could and could not accomplish. I had supportive faculty from Frederick Douglass High School to help me every step of the way throughout the college application process, as well as my supportive dad, who's in the audience today, that supported me every step of the way as well. The classes that I took at Frederick Douglass High School, as far as the business classes were concerned, laid the foundation for the classes that I took during my undergraduate career. And as mentioned, it allowed me to not place any limitations on myself. I graduated magna cum laude this past May. I recently accepted an offer. So I say all of this to say that Frederick Douglass High.
Yeah, everyone's applauding you.
Thank you. I say all this to say that no matter what environment that you come from, no matter what you've done, you don't place limitations on yourself. You are as great as you want to be.
Fantastic, Javon. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank
and
you.
I met your dad earlier, so he's here. I wanted to acknowledge that Mr. Hill is here. Mr. Hill, if you could stand up. He thought he would stay here to just see you. Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, can you give all of the young people who joined us this evening a round of applause? How do we plan to get there? And how do we plan to prepare all of the students, all of our students, like the 4 that you just saw, the 2 that were our masters and mistress of ceremony, and all of the young people that you saw on the stage? And one of the things that we know is that we have to have a greater level of focus on our work moving forward. And that work is really defined around 5 key priorities. And I'm going to talk about each of these, but each, I think, has a video that is in front of it. And so if the video is talking, I may talk over that just briefly.
I'm not in the science and tech program, but I take all of the classes that they offer. So I have rigorous AP courses, AP Calculus, AP Statistics, AP Literature. I was talking about a recommendation, actually, for Georgia Tech. I don't want to go into science, though, more like computers, information technology, and to information security.
Those are big fields.
Yes, they are, and high in demand, too.
So this young person was actually talking about some of the skills and the knowledge that we want our young people to graduate with. And we understand that creating this profile will allow us to talk about, as an organization, as a school system, and as a community, what all of us want to see from our graduates, from our school system. And we have to understand that the planning that begins for that really begins long before students enter high school. So we have to adjust our curriculum to make sure our young people are exposed to the types of content, to the types of experiences, and to the types of learning opportunities that will provide for them those chances beyond their days to graduate here in Prince George's County. And so high student achievement, first and foremost, is making sure that every single one of our graduates moving forward are equipped with the skills and the knowledge and the ability to communicate, both written and verbally, so that they can move into the work world at a competitive level, or they can choose the training program or the institution of their choice and not require remediation. And it's one of those things that we feel is supported by the other 4 goals. And those other goals are all coming up after this slide, but it's one other thing I want to say about this slide. Inside of all of these, we have measures, and they're called key performance indices. And those measures will allow all of us to know where we are relative to this work. So what does that mean? It means that for every high school, and we can push this all the way down to the class, we will know who's attending school, how many students are actually passing the HSA on the first time they take it, how many students are starting high school and graduating 4 years later. And all of those become metrics for us to track our own performance. And we're going to make those metrics public because we think that it's important for you, the community, to also have that information. Because we cannot do all of this by ourselves. We need your help. And we need a collective effort in addressing and, more importantly, setting high expectations for all of our young people. This is supported by the next 4 goals. So goal number 2 is high student achievement.
And you guys are one of those examples of success. And you guys are helping push me in some really important ways. And what you guys have done collectively, the board, the SUE, the union, the teachers, the principal, what you guys have done here, again, I said earlier, really has national implications.
So this was the Secretary of Education, and he was visiting at Bladensburg Elementary School. And one of the things that he was talking about was the work that we had begun here in Prince George's County around incentivizing our teachers and creating a performance-based pay system. And one of the reasons he was acknowledging that work is because we sat down with our partners in labor to construct that system. It wasn't something that we tried to do to them. We sat with them and collaboratively created a plan to really look at how we get a highly effective teacher in front of every one of our students, regardless of where those students attend school. And one of the things we know is that our best indicator for student success is the individual who stands in front of them in the classrooms. And our best predictor of effective schools is the person who stands in front of the students in the classroom. And in order to do that, we have to also have great leaders in schools to also attract those highly effective teachers to our classrooms. But our work with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, our work with the Susan and Michael Dell Foundation, our work with the Department of Education, with the Teacher Incentive Fund, has all been around designing a system that builds the capacity of everyone in their system to ensure that every single one of our 128,000 young people has the most highly capable individual standing in front of them, an individual who will engage them, who will teach them to think critically, who will allow them to problem solve, and who will facilitate learning for the students. And so this is one of the primary things that we think will lead us to the first goal, which is high student achievement. And just like goal 1, this goal is supported with a whole series of objectives, and we're going to make those public so that you can see those both for our system and for your respective schools. The next is safe support and supportive schools. And this is not just speaking to safety and security, although we think that is extremely important. But this is also talking about the climate of the school. And when we talk about preparing citizens as global and domestic citizens who are informed, we have to start building that climate inside of the experience that these young people have in their schools. They need to know how to work with other individuals. They need to know how to communicate. They need to know how to use technology. They need to know how to take care of their community, their environment, and their world. And those are things that they must learn inside of their school buildings. So the safe and supportive environment is really what is supportive for every one of our students to be in the best learning experience possible. And this is a recognition that all students don't learn the same way, and all don't learn inside of the same common structure. So this one-size-fits-all model that we've built our education institution on doesn't necessarily work. And so all students will not be successful inside of a comprehensive program. So that means we have to set up new and innovative and entrepreneurial programs that will allow students and parents choice to quality opportunities and options throughout our system.
Hi, I'm Jim Tejan with Capital One. We're really pleased to be here today at Langley Park School, and we've enjoyed our time today. This is our first school in Prince George's County. We hope to have additional opportunities to change the lives of children through improving the library, making it a place that children love to come to. Thank you.
The fourth goal is strong community partnerships. And this is not just partnerships for businesses like Capital One. And by the way, if you would like to see something that's extremely exciting, Capital One supported a renovation of the library at Langley Park Elementary School. I was there 2 days ago, and it is a phenomenal renovation for that school and for the young people who are attending. But it's not just the partnerships with businesses. It's how we partner with parents. And how do we increase and prepare our parents to be advocates and to create agency in their parents so that they are advocating for their children. And they're holding us accountable when we don't get it right with their children. And as I indicated before, if we educated all of our students and they attended school every day, it is an understanding that we only have those young people for 9% of their life. So the other 91%, there are other people who have to be a part of that experience and who also have to influence that learning for those young people. So we understand we can't do this alone. However, we still think it's important to advocate for strong business and community partnerships in support of the work that we're doing in the county. We're working with the community, the Greater Community Foundation, and that foundation is really beginning to allow us to connect with philanthropic organizations that are excited about the reforms taking place here in Prince George's County. But these strong community partnerships really becomes how do we continue to create and build advocacy for our business partners, for our community, and for many of our community members who do not have students in their school system, and for our parents. And we've begun that with the development of the parent advocacy centers. We just opened a third one. We also have one that's bilingual, and we plan to open those all across the county so that community and civic associations and other organizations are also partnering with us to help prepare and develop those levels of advocacy.
Peter Francho, State Comptroller. I'm here at Deerfield Run to present a certificate of recognition on behalf of the state of Maryland for superior maintenance. We really appreciate the fact the school is well taken care of, and that it's a facility where the faculty and students and administration all work together to extend the life of the school through good maintenance practices. It's bright. It's, you just have a feel when you walk through it that it's well taken care of.
So the final and the fifth goal is efficient and effective operations. And just as the comptroller talked about our school facilities and their maintenance and their cleanliness, it's also important for us to have systems, structures, and processes that allow us to understand our value to the education of all of our students. We also understand that we're living in times now where revenue is not like it was several years ago. So we have to be better stewards of all revenue, and we have to use it more efficiently and effectively in order to add value to the education that our students receive. So it means that in some cases we have to stop those old practices that are costing a fortune but aren't yielding any results, and move those funds to places that are proven by research to matter and matter with many of our students. So this is where you come in. And people say, well, what should I do? And how can I help you with this? First and foremost, we want all of our partners, in order to ensure that our students graduate college and career ready, we need to first and foremost get involved at the school level. And we think that that's the primary level where that involvement should begin. We want to get involved at the school level first and foremost. We also want you to share your thoughts and ideas with us and with us as a system. And this slide denotes there's several ways to do that. We actually have a website, and you can send us an email at strivefor5@pgcps.org, or just visit our website for the latest information. However, one thing that's missing from this slide, and I think is extremely important, I think we have to all do a better job, and us especially, in number one, telling their story and telling the tremendous stories of the 4 young people that you just heard and saw this evening. But we have thousands of stories like that. And we don't do as good of a job telling those stories, because sometimes when there's a problem, we tend to attack the system instead of the problem. And I want us to commit to attacking the problem together so that we are addressing the issues. And here's why I say that. Because every day, or every week, I try to visit our students. And as students begin talking to me, and this wasn't anytime soon, but this was last spring. And as students indicated to me, and this was a meeting with students, and during that meeting, the students indicated, can you get people to start saying positive things about us? Because all we hear are negative things. And guess what? They said parents included. Parents included. And so I asked them, how do we do that? And they said, use us to help tell our story. And that's when I thought about Skyping the students in, because they help us tell that story. But I think there are tremendous things that are going on across our county. Can we get better? Absolutely. Will we get better? Yes, we will. But by the same token, we have to make sure we're talking about this from a posture of a positive construct, as opposed to always taking the system down when there's a problem. And so I'm asking all of you, that's another way to get involved. And then the final way to get involved is we want individuals to have high expectations for our school system. And we want individuals to have high expectations for their sons and daughters. And we want you to communicate those high expectations to us. If we're not offering classes, or we're saying someone can't take a class because they haven't had the required prerequisite, we want you to challenge that. Because our students will never be ready for any opportunities if we only strive for the MSA or for the HSA or for AYP. So we want to strive to make sure our students are able to leave high school and do something productive and give back to their community, our community, Prince George's County. So with that, I want to acknowledge a couple of people. First and foremost, I want to thank Ms. Mary Nusser with the Bowie PTSA. Ms. Nusser, thank you for changing your meeting so that we could do this today. Thank you so much for your support. And once again, I'm checking to see if I missed anyone else. Yes? No? Okay? No? Thank you so much for coming out this evening. Enjoy your evening.